name is Kenyan Payne. I go by Big Kenzo. We in Campanella Park. I grew up in apartments, which we claim the 9 block, because of the 9 goes straight into the apartments. So that's what the apartment rep, the 9.
And that's 149, correct?
149, yep. The 9 is real near and dear to my heart. I loved it so much. I started purchasing homes on it, and that's just my street to this day.
Was there a little bit of competition with the guys on 148th because they had the 8 block?
I mean, yeah, things used to happen, not just the 8, the 6. You know, at that time it was just, the 5-0 was always there too. The 5-0, they were pretty much, you know, they rolled with the 9 real tough. But we used to have summers, and summers used to get a little wild. One block go against the other, you know, that happened a few times. But then by the time school come back around, everything, the ceasefire, and we all good and solid, you know. But before the 9 block, everybody in the apartments, we were actually called ourselves TTH, Terrace Town Hustlers. You know, prior to that we were Campanellas, but then, you know, we started growing up, 18, 19 years old, and we were hustling. So we just, like, you know, we took off. We had basically started getting into it with the 8 block, so we veered off and started calling ourselves Terrace Town Hustlers. It had to be 86, 85, 86, 87, it was somewhere, you know. The apartments is actually called Warrick Terrace apartment. So we just shortened it, and it's called, you know, we used to say, where you going? Oh, I'm finna, you know, if we over here on the 8, where you going? Instead I'm going home, just say, oh, I'm going to the Terrace Town. So that started like that, and then next thing you know, I don't know who gave us the name Terrace Town Hustlers, but we had all started hustling, and back in the middle of the 80s, the apartments was wild, really, really wild. I hadn't seen it been like that since. It was like a drive-through for drugs, and it would be numerous guys out there hustling, and everybody making money, and they just going in and out the gates, cars like a drive-through.
Everyone that was hustling out there, were they Terrace Town Hustlers, or were there some Campanellas?
Yeah, I mean, it was all Campanellas, but we was mad at the rest of the homies at that time, so we started calling ourselves the Terrace Town Hustlers, basically.
And I'm sure that they must have had an issue with you guys being Terrace Town.
No, because the whole hood was bumping. The whole hood was rolling. At that time, we had over 30 lowriders in the neighborhood. JG, Nard, they probably had 3 of their own around the corner. Rent, Tone, baby Alvin was 15 years old with a lowrider. The L block, that's the L block, that's the 8 block. We had Big Toot, he had, I mean, it was just so many people. Jake, everybody had a lowrider, you know. Spud, everybody had a lowrider. So every neighborhood, every area was bumping when it came to hustling at that time. But that was just our cubbyhole, the Terrace Town. So it wasn't like no jealousy. Everybody came through. It kind of ceased at Centennial. Something happened with the little homies at Centennial. They got into it with another hood or something, and everybody went up there as one, and then it kind of like everybody, we just Nellas, and that's it, and that's all. I went to McKinley Elementary.
Would you say most Campanellas went to that elementary?
Yes. Not just the Campanellas, the mobs, they got bust over here. The mobs, the Lime Hoods, some of the looters. When I went to Enterprise Junior High School, and from going to Enterprise, majority of our neighborhood went to Vanguard. So it was just a handful of us. You know, most of the apartment boys, not all of them, but most of the apartment boys went to Enterprise. Then we had Cardell Armstrong, Kevin Windfield, Big Jake, Stranger, it was more people from the 9 and the 5-0. We all went to Enterprise. So we was 10% of the school when it came to like the guys, and they would say, oh, they from Campanella. So they really made us from here. I mean, I can't say they made us, but they would say that we were from over here, and this was a side that they didn't care for. So that's how the little things used to start.
And what grade was that about?
7th grade. First, in the 7th grade, it might be a fight, just a little fight. And say I was fighting, and I'm getting the best of somebody, or somebody getting the best of me. My homeboys ain't gonna sit there and let it happen. I had a family, my relative D-Mack and Roadie, they went there too. They both from the apartments also. So they ain't gonna let that happen. They ain't gonna let me lose. So they would get in, and then somebody from the other guy's neighborhood, whether he was from Tragniew, the swamps, or Lantana, and that's how the little feud may start, you know.
Did any of the Tragniews, Lantanas, and swamps attend Enterprise?
Yeah, all of them. That's where they went to school. Every Friday, their older homies would come up to the school, and it's an ice cream parlor over there. And they try to come up to the ice cream parlor and jump on one of us, like catch one of us at the ice cream parlor. So then we start doing the same thing. We start having our homies to come up there and try to catch them coming. And it start being shootings. First, I mean, back then days, there really wasn't a lot of shootings. I remember one time the homies called ourselves, they're gonna walk to the swamps after school and see if they can catch any swamp boys. I think because of one of my homies, Choo Choo, they jumped on Choo Choo, so they was call themselves, they're gonna get some get back and walk over there. I remember Big Toot, Jake, Red, Pee Wee, everybody. It was a lot of us. We walked over there and we got to the corner of the field of the swamps, and I remember one of the swamp boys put out a long rifle and he just shot one time, pow. But then he's so far away, he's like a football field away. But we hear the pow, and then next thing you know, we hear that bullet go by. That's when one of the homies had a little pistol. When he popped a couple times, and then we all take off. They ran, we ran, and, you know, because it really wasn't a big gun thing back there in the early 80s. A couple of the swamp guys played sports up here. You know, they would come over here. Tragniews also would play sports with us. You know, we had this park was well known for baseball, so and then half of the coaches was who lived over there, so they would bring some of the guys over here to play sports. So that's how I started knowing some of the guys early on. But then we didn't go to school together. But then next thing you know, we started basically feuding in junior high school.
Did any of those coaches try to get in the middle of it and say, look, guys, not?
Not back then. I bumped heads with a lot of guys, but it didn't go that, I mean, really too far, because we fought. You know what I'm saying? And once you really fight, and you might fight once and fight twice, then they kind of have a respect for you and they leave it alone. But they always, that's him from over there. But there's so many guys from over there that I didn't fault. It's a shame, not just there, from Lantana and everything. We ran into people at football games. I had a little brother that played football, high school football, and we would go to his game, and there'd be a pack of Crips there, and they'll see us, and they might think that they can get us because they're deeper than us. But one time that happened, and I have a cousin, Lil Dave, from 190, and the 190s, they were super deep, and some of the Lantanas seen us, and they was talking to the 190s, thinking that they had the ups on us, and they start talking to one of my little homeboys, talking about, yeah, this and that, sweating him, and act like he was finna do something to him. So I fired on that dude, knocked him out, and that just set the whole thing on fire. We had a Carson Darcy championship game at El Camino High. Can't remember what year that was, but that was like 94 or something like that. And that's just started a big old rumble, but they thought that the 190s was going to assist them. But when the 190s said, hey, hold on, that's my people. Once that happened, they stepped back and we got to doing our thing. My brothers, my older brother, he never banged. My brother right under me, he never banged. But my younger brother, he banged. G Weed, he banged. So anybody else? I mean, other people in my family, like cousins and stuff. Not most of them, but I got a handful of cousins and stuff that's actually from the hood.
Now, how did you feel when your little brother kind of followed you into the hood? G Weed.
I used to whoop him back in the days. I used to whoop on him, you know, for doing little stuff and hanging out. But I used to tell him that it wasn't the right thing because I was trying to go from banging to hustling. And that's what I did. I wasn't trying, that's what I did. So I used to try to tell him, but he wanted to be a shooter and all of this kind of stuff. So I used to kind of like, hey, hold on, man, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. But it didn't work. I was actually coming from somewhere. I think coming from out of town, and I was almost here. I was like getting here the first time he got shot. First time he got shot, he was on Crenshaw. And you know, first thing I did, you go straight to the hospital. But he wasn't my first brother who got shot. I had a brother who got shot before that. My other brother that's right up under me, he got shot. You know, you just gather yourself and do what you need to do. Sit your big ass down right here then.
You're messing with a 57-year-old man. My name is Alex, and Alex Flowers, and I've been around here since 1966. Back then, we didn't really, in '66, we didn't really know that. They came, well, it was the early '70s when they were talking about Tookie. We thought Tookie was going to be somebody like a boogeyman that was going to come and do something to us. And we didn't really get to really know about them. And we always looked at like remember the Zodiac Killer? That's what we looked at Tookie as, like something like that. Somebody gonna come and do something to us. Until I got in junior high school, and I started knowing what it was about. See, because I used to go over there by Tam's hamburger stand. And I didn't know what Crips and Bloods were. So those were my cousins over there, right? So I went over there and said, "What's up, cuz?" She said, "Nah, don't say that over here. Don't say that over here." She schooled me what's going on. This is red, the other was blue. You know, I didn't really have no problem with no gangbangers because I blend in. I'll be whatever you wanted me to be. You know, right, really, until I got older and got to understanding what it was all about. And like I say, some of them over there in the swamps were one of my best friends. That's why I used to run away to, and hey, when I want to do my dirt, I run over there. So when I got to Compton High, they already knew of me, so they already knew I was in the middle guy. Yeah, put it like that.
So you grew up with some of the swamp boys?
Yeah, I went to school with them.
Some of the swamps used to come right over here.
Right here. They used to come up here.
You remember any of their early guys?
Yeah.
Wayne Dixon, Arcel Sneed.
What about
Big Wayne Cole,
yeah.
Colbert, Killer Cole.
What about the Lane?
The Donald Lane, all Donald Lane, Fruit Homes, all them,
So these are all original swamps?
All original.
Do you know why the swamps became Crips and the Campanellas became Pirus?
We used to go to their dance. We really didn't.
They used to come up here to the dances we used to have.
We got along, man. We wasn't like that. Now they had some was trying to be high, like Jerry Whiteside, Anthony Boo. I'm talking about the one, Turkey, Tommy Wayne. But Anthony Boo and Jerry Whiteside went to Compton High, but they was Bloods. They went up there, and then there was this other nigga named Michael Moore. I don't know how I got started. But Bell Harvey was from the hood, and then they were saying, "Man, you could have did something, man." He mopped Jerry Whiteside. This nigga named Michael Moore mopped Jerry Whiteside right there at Compton High.
And Jerry Whiteside was from where?
Right here.
Right here from the hood, but then the other boy was from the hood, and he felt that somebody else did something and he didn't jump in, so that's why he got him.
That's right, yeah. They used to get dances right there at St. Albans. They used to chase us. No, they wasn't chasing us.
You ran?
They'd be in back of us. My homeboy Chubb lived right here, so he ran, hopped the fence, and they was following, but they wasn't doing it but talking stuff, and they was just following us after the dance. So Chubb hopped the fence and got the gun and started busting. Pop, pop, pop. His daddy came out there, them Crips started running. But they wasn't doing it. They was just talking stuff back there. See, it was kind of like a gangbanger, but they knew us. Because if it was like that, we wouldn't have never invited them to come over here if it was like that. We wasn't like that. That many where you can't come over. Now the ones like that, they in the ground.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.